Welcome in today, you guys. Today we're going to be testing the new eyeshadow palette from Hermes. My order just arrived, but I also picked up some other stuff from them and I wanted to test them out. It's the blush and one of their satin lipsticks. So that's what we're going to do today. These eyeshadow palettes are new and I want to say they came in 5 different quads. I did place an order for a different one originally and not this one in 01, and then they ended up emailing me and saying that one was fully out of stock already. So I had to go back and place a different order for this particular color story. It's also very nice, so I'm not displeased. This is my first time testing anything from Hermes. Here's the packaging. It has a little peekaboo window in here. These are quite expensive, so this is a little bit of a treat for myself. Here is the box that it comes in. I feel like you have to keep this box for as much as these palettes retail for. And it slides open like this. And inside, oh, it's like a khaki linen cover. And then here is the eyeshadow palette. Very, very small. So by comparison, you guys, it's approximately the size of my palm. Wow, these pan sizes are quite a bit smaller than I thought they would be. They are removable pans, so you can take them out of the back. It comes with 3 mattes and then 1 shimmer up here in the corner. I definitely think I will be keeping their signature orange box. I am actually tempted to go into the blush that I picked up. These have been out for a while. This one is in Rose Dore. I think it's how it's pronounced. Or Dore. I don't know. I'm terrible with French. Here is the packaging on this. It's exactly the same size as the eyeshadow quad. Ooh, this looks like a beautiful peachy neutral shade. It's in the shade number 35. Again, I'm definitely keeping this box. And then finally, I picked up one of their satin lipsticks like I told you. This one is in 18, and then it also comes in a khaki linen case. Here's the packaging on this. The Hermes stamp at the top. Ooh, beautiful shade. This is actually really quite luxe packaging, heavy, magnetic closure, very heavy. I love when you pay luxury pricing, but the packaging matches. I did test Prada's new makeup line. The packaging, unfortunately, did not match the prices. I'll leave that where it is. Let's go into this blush first in 35. I want to swatch this. This appears to be removable as well. It has such a light scent. It's perfumey, but it's so light. And the perfume is not like floral. It's like sweetly scented. I am not a fan of when luxury beauty comes with a very strong floral perfume scent in their makeup products, which is not my preference, but this is so sweet and I personally just love the way that smells. I'm gonna go into a pretty fluffy brush. The smell is definitely present. This is such a light shade on me. This formula in particular is described as a silky iridescent powder with a vibrant color. This shade, if you actually get up close, has a little bit of sheen to it. It doesn't look like that in the pan, but it does like on my swatch, and it does translate to the cheeks. It has a bit of like a champagne kind of shimmer to it. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of noticeable over here on like the high points of my cheek right here, but yeah, it translates quite well. It's very pretty without like overemphasizing texture. Actually, this is a really interesting shade. I guess you can kind of see a little bit of like the luminosity and the iridescentness in the pan. It's just so much more present when it swatches out and when you apply it. I honestly thoroughly enjoy this. For like a really nude flush of color, it's nice. And I don't think we need highlighter with this. I feel like the sheen that it gives off is quite nice. I'm glad that it has a little bit of pizzazz to it and it's not like, you know, just a fully matte formula in a light shade. I guess that's maybe a little bit disappointing when you're testing out luxury beauty products, especially for me, that it doesn't like do anything extremely different, but I do think this one does. It's a very nice formula. We'll see how long it lasts. Longevity in my blushes is definitely of priority to me. Now I want to go into this eyeshadow palette. I am going to do a little bit of a different look today. I'm going to start with the deepest shade and get pretty close to my lash line. Then I'm going to build it by reversing kind of like the depth of the shadow plus a lighter shade and then put the shimmer all over. I want to swatch this out for you guys first to really see how it swatches, but I haven't tried this kind of eye look yet, so we'll see how it comes out. I'm going to start from top left and I go over and then down. So we're going to start with this lightest shade first, which looks like a really light, almost like violet shade. And I don't think this one will show up very well on me. They tend not to, so this is more of like a diffusing kind of shade that I would use to kind of blend out the deeper two shades. It's really, really light. It shows up, but just, oh, so little. And in a quad, for what this cost, mind you, that is slightly disappointing. Here's the shimmer. The shimmer is nice though. Look how light reflecting it is. And I love a light shimmer. It's actually good quality shimmer. These pan sizes are about the size of my finger, so here's the pink. Well, that didn't swatch terribly well. Oh, I built it up, I got there. This one shade just doesn't even look like I swatched anything. This pink is quite staining on my finger, so it should be a pretty vibrant, kind of long-lasting shade. Look at that. Now let's go into this deeper one. This feels so much harder. The pink was a very soft formula, but this deep plum is like hard pressed in the pan. Feels hard to swatch too. It's not a creamy shade. So there's the color story there. Now I'm gonna go into this deepest shade here with a fairly pointed brush. I think this is a Suzanne Jackson SE205 brush. And what I wanna do is like smoke out really close to my lash line here. I am not getting precise at all because I'm going to blend this all out with some of the lighter shades. This particular shade, even though it looks very pigmented and deep on the brush, is more of a buildable matte formula. However, it is building. And I don't think it's transferring. With my eyes closed like this, a more powdery shade would definitely take place like underneath my lower lash line, and it does not seem to be doing that. It's going exactly where I am putting it. I have been doing my standard eye look for at least a year at this point. I had a look in my mind, so I am trying to reimagine that in real life, and we shall see how it turns out. So you guys bear with me here. This may be a trust the process moment. I am going to get a tighter brush. It's not fully pinched though. It has a little bit of volume to it. And I'm gonna go into that pink shade and I'm gonna take it just above that deeper shade. In fact, I'm gonna go into the crease and just above. They can be very pigmented. They can be built up pretty nicely, but you can also diffuse these out. So the matte shades themselves seem to be performing as the way that I would want a matte shade to perform. And then I want to take a fluffier brush and go into this very light shade here and just diffuse the pink out. I don't know that this will do much, but it might just kind of diffuse the edges just a bit. This shade is more at like setting or diffusing shade for me, which is nice when you have a vibrant pink like this and you kind of want to diffuse it out with a lighter shade. That's basically all this shade is good for, because it's like virtually no pigment on my eyes, or my skin tone rather. I'm taking a Refer 12 brush. I'm going back into that deeper shade because I want it actually all over the lid. I was trying to smoke it really close to the lash line, but I have changed my mind. I want it to go right up to the crease. So it's honestly cohesive. There's an obvious start and stop to it. I think that looks better. I'm just gonna go back into that pink just a little bit. And then again, back into that lighter shade just one more time. I think it's fun. Let's go into the shimmer now. I'm putting the shimmer all on top of this deeper purple shade. And my purple shade is going to be my base. Okay, it looked more champagne on the swatch, but on my eye it looks a lot more silver. I like having the darker base at the bottom, but also at the same time, it is a really punchy shimmer, so it's taking over the deeper shade quite a bit. So I'm kind of just deepening the purple in the outer corner, which is basically what I do all the time anyway, so it's kind of turning into my basic standard eye look. Still super pretty though. Going in on the other side, the shimmer is so creamy. It's actually really good quality. Again, into that deeper shade in the outer corner and like just in this little V area. I'm kind of just deepening that pink up just a little bit more because I want to take it just higher above the crease. And on this side, just a little bit higher so you can see it with my eyes open. I am not going to do any lower lash line work today. I'm just going to keep it as is. I have to say the quality of this is actually really good. Every one of the shades kind of did what I was hoping. I think you can deepen this up quite a bit. And I always find that important when you have a light shade, a mid-tone shade, and a deepening shade, which all of their quads seem to have, which personally I really enjoy. And then one shimmer shade and a light shimmer shade at that, which I think is really nice, especially for someone like me with really hooded eyes and smaller lids. Like I told you guys, this particular shade right here is really good for just diffusing out the other two colors. This ends up being quite punchy in the pink one. And again, I feel like you can really deepen up with this shade. So as far as like how each of them perform, I think they all did really well on their own. I honestly wasn't disappointed in the formula with any of them. I'm gonna throw on some mascara and then we're gonna come back and try the satin lipstick. Okay, let's go into this lipstick. I wanna swatch it to see what color this is going to pull on me. That is what the bullet looks like. This is like the perfect mauve shade for me. So I think I grabbed the right lip liner. I'm gonna go into the Rare Beauty lip liner, Kind Words matte lip liner in Humble. This one actually might be a little bit more warm toned than this shade here, but I think it'll work. Really smooth formula. Not a revolutionary lip product, if I'm being completely honest. The packaging is nice, the formula is pretty good. It's satin, so it's not overly creamy, which means it'll probably last on me a little bit longer. And I am happy to report it doesn't have an overpowering floral scent, which I really don't like in my lip products. So it's a fairly nice formula overall. My naughty little kitty is hanging out in the window. He was begging me at the door in his little sad, low little meow. He wanted in and he wants to be a star in the show. He's literally the sweetest cat I've ever owned. Everyone loves him. Anyway, but back to the makeup. I know that these are a very high price point. It is very luxury beauty, as Hermès is a very luxury brand. I don't think the quality is bad though, so I was very pleased with the eyeshadow quality overall. I don't get as impressed by lipstick formulas that are a higher price point as I do maybe, you know, eyeshadows that I feel like they can be more of a focal point on your face than say kind of a satin lipstick would. But I did like the quality and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you were kind of checking it out, these eyeshadow quads, then you could see this one in 01 tested for you guys. That is all for me today, you guys. I'm out of here and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.